let's talk about the makeup of your camera department. And Patrick, we'll start with you. How many cameras do you have rolling, and how are you generally orienting them in the space?
Always have two. Maybe 1 or 2 days per episode, we'll have 3. But we always have 2. And when we do our dolly situation, sometimes we'll make an L. So we'll create a dolly left to right, and then we'll pick an angle on the other side. And we'll get most of that, and then we'll flip to the other side. With Mark, which is really interesting, and I tried to bring this onto other jobs, we do our close-ups first. We get the performance first. We don't worry about, well, we have to create the look for the master. We get all the performance first. The actors love it. The operators love it. And then after we feel we have the scene, we drop back and do some wide shots and bringing people in or something like that. We don't waste the actors' energy doing that. Also, we don't work very late nights. We do sometimes, but very rarely. We try and do day for night interiors when we can. We just try and schedule stuff because no one's best work is at 3 a.m. in the morning. So it's a whole production line that's the producers are on that page, the cast is on that page, and everybody else is too. So it's very difficult to go to another job sometimes.
Yeah. And just speaking to you for a few minutes now here, it seems like multiple times you've gone back to this idea of kind of the experience on set among the crew and the producers and the cast and everything. It seems you're talking a lot about kind of the vibe on set, like the way that you're being treated on set, which it's certainly something to be paying attention to, but it's not so often that the DPs that come on the show necessarily talk about that. And I think that is an important thing, especially now with all of the IATSE strike. Well, it seems to have been mitigated, but the conversations that were revolving around the IATSE potential strike just a month ago, a couple weeks ago, was about this idea of treatment of the crews and all these departments. So it's interesting to hear you say that Succession is run in a way that makes you, as a camera operator and director of photography, feel like it's a respectful schedule. Do you feel the same way, Chris?
Absolutely. I mean, they're very aware of our hours and consideration of any inconveniences, and I couldn't think of the negativeness about it. It's just awesome.
I want to talk a little bit more about your camera department. And Chris, I'm curious about your experience here. So Patrick discussed that L-shaped for the dolly shots. When you're doing your handheld, are you still rolling with 2 cameras? Do you bring in that third for your own episodes?
No, it all depends on the nature of the scene. I mean, we have, especially last season, I had many scenes with every cast member in it, and they're all over the place. And so we were able to use 3 cameras a lot. But it really depends on what the script has in it, what dictates whether I have 3 cameras or 2 cameras. But I do a very similar thing with, you cover half a direction with, cameras if you're on dollies or whether it's handheld, and then you make a big flip to the other side. Or this last season, I had to do both sides. I had everyone in the whole scene, but at the last second, Jeremy wanted to do his close-up first, but so did everyone else, and they were like opposing each other. And I just looked at the director. I was like, "Now what do I do?" Okay, fine. And we just ended up just cross-shooting it, and it worked out fine. But it was like, it was kind of crazy, but it worked out fine. And again, I had a location that catered to shooting multiple directions without, sacrifice, which is very important to me.
Well, I just want to hit one more note about the third camera.
Yeah.
When we have 2 cameras handheld or the long lens, they'll film each other all the time. They'll see each other. A handheld operator will walk in front of the other camera, but we know that they're just going to repo. So we had a situation when we were in Italy, and we had 3 cameras, and we're saying, something's not right. Something's just not right here. And we decided to just have the third camera sit down for a while and it enabled the other two cameras to physically move around like they do on their butt dollies. So even though a lot of times the third camera is really good and you're getting all your performances, that was one example where it actually got in the way, and both the director and I realized it at the same time. And we the two other operators were able to, they had 6 feet to move instead of only 3 without being restrained by another butt dolly next to them.